welcome to the Festival of Storytellers. I thank everybody that's involved with this process, because we know writers need readers and writers need publishers.
Experience is not about the publisher, it is about us, the authors.
Hello, everyone. Hey, this is Brenda Gatliff, and I'm on here to talk about one of my books. It's called Wait. The reality is that we are never alone. And hey, I just wanted to thank everyone for tuning in and for being here. It's been an honor to do this, and I really appreciate everybody. And thank you so much for watching. So this is my sixth live, I think. So I've covered a lot of stories and a lot of things. But basically, what I'd really love to talk about or write about is just some of the experiences I've had over the years. And I sure have had a lot of them. But just a lot of angel encounters. Sometimes I believe they came right straight from heaven, and other times I think they took on the form of a person, and I met them, and then suddenly they vanished and were gone. So that's been a lot of experiences, and also just the visions and dreams. A lot of dreams and visions help me get through difficult times in my life, and there's just, I believe, so much more out there than we know, or that we can see physically every day, and it's just amazing some of the things that I've been shown of the other side. So anyway, just wanted to get on here and talk a little bit more about. I've got 3 books actually, and let's see if I can get that right. 3, and working on my 4th one now. So I did want to, if I could, just thank everyone again for being here. I really appreciate you all, and I wanted to kind of talk about an experience I had. Oh, it's been a couple years ago, I guess. And I've had this my whole life, I think. I think I just talk too much, but I've always had this where I'll meet people, and within, 5 or 10 minutes, like, they tell me their whole life. So I guess because I listen, I don't know. Um, but anyway, I've learned a lot from that, just that experience of talking to people. And one of the things that happened, this actually happened within 8 minutes. I mean, I swear wasn't there that long at all. And I was at my local CVS store right around the corner. And I was in line. It was wintertime. And an older gentleman in front of me had a cart, and he was just loaded down with, um, the salt for the ice outside, and all kinds of just items for the weather. And suddenly he dropped a motorcycle, or well, he dropped a glove on the floor, and he was right in front of me. And of course I noticed wasn't just a glove, it was a motorcycle glove. So I tapped him on the shoulder and said, "Excuse me, I think you dropped this," and he said, "Oh, thank you. You're an angel." And I said, "Well, no, I'm not so sure about that." And he said, "No, anybody who helps somebody else out is an angel." And it was just a, he got done paying, I got done paying, and he waited for me. And he was standing there, and he said, he told me that he told me just out of nowhere, he said, "Let me just tell you that to always look for the light. Just look towards the light, and you will be okay." Which is kind of an odd statement for somebody to say out of nowhere. We weren't even talking about that. And I said, "Okay." And he said that he had the ability to see things on the other side, see people that had passed away. Oop, I think I have a comment here. Holly, hi Holly. A pleasant day to you too. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great day too. Thank you. And so anyway, this gentleman, he stood there and he started chatting about his life. Come to find out, he had been married 43 years, and I had been married almost 42 years. And I think I ever. Hi, Robert. How are you? And anyway, we discovered we were both widow and widowers, and so we talked about that a little bit. And he said, I had never had an argument with my wife. Well, I sure couldn't say that because I've had a lot of arguments there. But Julie, hi Julie. She says, "Hi Brenda, glad you joined our session today." Thank you. It's an honor. I really appreciate being on here. Thank you so much, Julie. And so yeah, he stood there and he told me, that what he did the first time is he discovered that he squeezed the toothpaste from one end and his wife squeezed the toothpaste from another end. So what they did to solve that problem was they just bought two tubes of toothpaste, and they always had two, so they never argued about it. So he was just the most interesting guy. And he said that out of nowhere too, I've always loved veterans and appreciate our veterans and soldiers and anybody who serves our country, of course. And also, my grandmother had told me that we were from a Cherokee Indian um, nation, so that was always I've always loved that. And he told me that um, he appreciated our military, and he said, "I tried to go into the Vietnam War, and when I tried to enlist, they saw that I had a tattoo on my arm, and they wouldn't let me in." Now, had he gone in without a tattoo and been in the service and then got a tattoo, it would have been okay. But back then, that was a long time ago, 60s, he couldn't, they wouldn't take him. And his Cherokee, his name on there said, I think it meant, oh, what did he say it meant? It meant strange one. That's what, so for me to run into somebody who had a tattoo that said strange one, that's pretty much, I can connect with that. And but he said it was Cherokee, and so we talked about that a little bit, and then he talked about how he had a dreams of prophetic things to come, different things like that. And he said, just remember to always look towards the light and you'll be okay. He said, if sometimes I hear knocking on my wall at night, and it's a person from the other side, and I always say, if you're from the light, you can come in. If you're from the dark side, don't come in. So anyway, it was really interesting because then he vanished. He kind of, went away, and I've been to that store, many, many times since then, never seen him again. So in my mind, I thought he was just placed there because I was having a really rough day, and I do have Elaine, I think. Hi, Elaine. She said, "Hi, Brenda. Um, glad to hear you're on again." Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad to be here. And but yeah, I think a lot of times if I'm very depressed or anxious or scared or just feel by myself and alone, it seems like something will always happen. Either, I'll get some cardinals to fly by, or a hawk, or um, I don't know. I'll go to the store and meet a stranger that's very strange, and then they kind of walk away, and I turn around, they're gone. So it's like, and this guy too, I was right behind him, and he walked out of the store, and I walked out of the store, and he was gone. I never even saw him leave, get in his car, or anything. So, I do have. Hi, Holly. Holly, how are you? Um, you have numerous wonderful stories. Thank you. My print's kind of small, but thank you. I appreciate that. I love stories, and I just love sharing them. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. And Timothy said, "Good afternoon." Hi, Timothy. How are you? And but anyway, so I think I've met a lot of angels disguised as people. God always said, be careful how you treat people because you might be entertaining an angel unaware. So I've tried to always remember that. My dad taught me that. And Bob Montgomery, hi Bob. And one time I was having a really rough time in my life, probably 20 years ago. And I was just really sad and thought my world was falling apart. Different things were happening in my life, and I just didn't know how to deal with them, and just very down, depressed. Um, didn't know what I was going to do, how I was going to survive. And I was meeting a friend of mine from work around Christmas time at Cracker Barrel. So I went to open the door at Cracker Barrel, and you know how Cracker Barrel has two doors, and they have a little entryway, and then there's another couple doors. So anyway, I opened the outside door. I went in, and there was a lady she was trying to come out, and she was all by herself, bless her heart. But she was trying to come out, and she was on a walker. She was very elderly, and she was very slow. And I held the door she was trying to come out of, and then I was going to hold the door so she could get out into the parking lot. And she stopped and she turned around and she looked me like right in the eye, just right at me. And she patted my arm and she said, honey, please don't worry about anything. She said, everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to come to a good conclusion. And she said, you're going to have a wonderful Christmas. And I said, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hey, Eva. Eva's on here. And she said, I'm so sad to know. Let's see, I'm so sad to know it'll be your last day. Oh, thank you. You know what? I'm kind of sad too because I've never done anything like this before or been live like this, but it's really been an experience. I've learned a lot, and it's really been a journey. Thank you. I'm going to be sad too. And let's see here. We have Bev, and she's saying, I always have a little bit of appreciation with knocking. Oh, wow. That's true. I've heard knocking before and answered the door and nobody there. You know what I mean? So I know what you mean for sure. Thank you. So, anyway, the lady at Cracker Barrel, she told me everything was going to be just fine. Everything was going to work out. And then she hugged me. So, I went on about my way, but after I opened the door for her and she started to walk out, she had a clear way to get out. And I went back to the other door and then I thought, wait a minute, that's weird. She just told me all that. What does all that mean? So I went back and I mean, it was only a mere second, maybe 2 or 3 seconds. And I went back and she was already through the second door and and I looked out and she was gone. She was just poof, just gone. She wouldn't have had time to get in a car for anybody to pick her up. I mean, it just wasn't time. There wasn't any time to spare for that quick. She just totally disappeared. So I honestly think that a lot of time, and I know a lot of times I've had, been through rough patches in my life. Things aren't going the way they should, or I want them to, or I just flat don't know what to do. And then something or somebody will appear like that. So I do believe she was an angel as well. So I really think we do entertain angels unaware sometimes. We just don't know it. And I have Carla. Hi, Carla. She said, this has been a journey too, Brenda. Oh, it sure has. It sure has been a journey. So anyway, but it's always been real interesting, that angels and dreams and it's just like we're never alone, no matter if you have a lot of family, and I'm blessed with a good family and people that love me and a lot of friends. And I tell you what, I wouldn't trade any of them for the world because they're just the best ever. And but sometimes when you're just down and out, you just don't know what to do, and you just feel so alone. And I just feel like every time I've gotten to that point, God has sent me a message just to let me know what to do or what's going on. And like I say, sometimes it's by these visitor angels, sometimes it's by visions or dreams. And we had an interesting thing happen one time. We went to I don't know if anybody has ever been to the Chicken Fest in London, Kentucky, but that's where my dad was from, and I still have a lot of beautiful cousins and loved ones and an uncle there, and um, I just love it. But it's the Chicken Fest is I think late September, and um, it really kind of is a tribute to Kentucky to Colonel Sanders, Kentucky Fried Chicken. who had an awesome story too. But anyway, on one particular trip, myself, my friend Mary, my cousin John, and his wife Pam, we all went to the Chicken Fest, and we just had the best time. I tell you what, we laughed and just did festival things, and then we cousin John, bless his heart, was our driver. You know what I mean? And he drove us all around those country roads and places that I remember, and my great grandma's place, and just everywhere. You know, it was just an amazing trip, and just the best time ever. And it was just an amazing, you know. And when we got to the hotel, when we first arrived, we got to the hotel, and uh, cousin John and me were arguing about who was going to pay the bill, because I was going to get his room for his birthday present, and he said he could get his own room, and he can be persistent. But I did, you know, we did talk about that. Well, this stranger comes up all of a sudden, and he's sitting there with his wife on the bench inside the hotel, and he says, "Hey, anybody can buy my room if you want. If you want to buy my room, you know." And I'm like, "Well, I would, but I, you know, no thanks, you know." So anyway, we saw him then, and then after that, we never saw his wife again, you know. And it's a small town, so it's not very big, you know. But we went through the streets and through the different activities and stuff, and you know, we'd be walking along, and all of a sudden, you'd hear this guy saying, "Hey, hey, how you doing? You know, you having a good time?" And we'd look across the street, and here would be this man, and he's the same man that was in the hotel, you know. We went to see a concert there in the street, and he was carrying a chair. You know, he had a chair under his arm, and he's hollering, "Hey, hey, enjoy yourself, have a good time." And I, you know, "Thank you." And we're like, "Where's his wife? And where's he?" You know, um, it was just an odd experience. He just showed up everywhere. Well, it was really odd, because we went into this place to eat. It was a restaurant, you know, and I mean, granted, he could have seen us walk in. That's possible. But you know, once you got inside, the windows had blinds down, and you couldn't see in at all, you know. And we sat at this table, and the blinds were down, and all of a sudden he starts knocking on the window. And I'm like, we're all looking at each other, you know, the four of us. We're thinking, what is he knocking on the window? And I opened the blinds, you know, and he's standing there with this big smile on his face, just waving. So we waved back, you know, and he disappeared. And, you know, I think, honestly, I mean, I don't know. I always try to figure it out. Maybe I shouldn't do that. But I honestly think that maybe an angel came, or my husband came in the form of this man. I don't know. But anyway, a message was sent to me, I think, because we had so much fun, and the only one really, really missing was him. So, you know, it would have been great if he was still here and he could have gone with us. So that was an interesting tale, you know. And I do have Elaine. Hi, Elaine. She says, Chicken Fest sounds like a wonderful place to be in. Oh, it really was. It was amazing. I tell you, we went several years in a row, and of course, with COVID, we weren't able to go much, but it's a great place if you ever get to go. It's in London, Kentucky. Robert, hi, Robert. He says, one of the biggest and amazing fest. Oh, Chicken Fest. Been there 2007 or 8. And it was 17 or 18. I'm sorry, I can't even see. And it was huge. Yeah, it really was, wasn't it? You know, there was a lot of and it was just like down home. You know, there's a lot of good people there, and you know, um it was just an amazing place to be. I'm glad you've heard of it and been there. That's awesome. Glad you know about it. I can't wait to try to go back. So yeah. So anyway, we'd gone on this wonderful trip. And oh, hi, Victoria. Hi, Victoria. I wonder why angels love to let themselves, oh, that they don't, I wonder, oh, never, I wonder how angels never let themselves be known. You know, I'm not sure we could handle it. I don't think, if I saw, I mean, I've seen all kinds of things, and things in the clouds, and pictures in the clouds and the sun, that look like angels to me. But I think I believe if angels let us know what they really look like, it would be so bright and magnificent that I don't think we could handle it. That's why I think they try to find different ways to come to us, and always let us. It might be a pat on the shoulder. It might be, um, you know, just different ways. But yeah, that's what I think too. I really think you just don't know. You know. Let's see. Yes. So anyway, But that trip, it was, my cousin John, his wife Pam, Mary, and myself. And oh, she passed away a while ago. And, I've just missed her so much. And she was just a beautiful person inside and out. She was so kind and so sweet. And, it's been hard to deal with her death. I mean, it's just been really hard because she was a very special person and more like a sister than a cousin's wife, you know what I mean? Just a really special person. And, probably about, I'd say maybe several months to a year before she passed away, she was always getting gifts for people. So her and her husband, her cousin John came over and she'd given me a gift. And inside the gift and the card was the card, and she told me when she gave me the envelope, she said, "Don't read this until we're gone. Don't read this until we're gone." And I said, "Okay." Hi Joshua. Hey Josh, I know you. Hey Brenda. Uh, Granny Joanne and I are tuning in. Oh, we're really enjoying your stories. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Josh. It's so sweet of you to have my Aunt Joanne there. Mwah. I love you both so much. Oh my goodness. I was going to try to call Joanne soon and I miss her. She's a very beautiful, sweet aunt. So thanks, Josh. I'm so glad you're both tuned in. Thank you so much. But anyway, so Pam had given, oops, I got another one here. Let's see. Barbara. Hi, Barbara. Um, did my spiritual and oh, wait a minute. Did any spiritual encounters influence your understanding of the interconnections of all things? Yeah, they really did. I tell you what, I've had a lot of things that have cleared up, things that I know I won't be able to know in the full thing until, I get to the other side. Absolutely, though, angels have shown me just brilliant lights, landscapes, heaven. I mean, it's just been amazing. Yes, absolutely, they have. Little at a time. They don't show me a whole lot, at one time. And again, I think it's because they know I couldn't handle it. But yeah, they have. They have. So anyway, I don't know, probably, several months before Pam passed away, she gave me this gift and this card, and the card said, and she told me, she said, don't open that till I leave. And I said, okay. So when she did, inside the card was this little tiny card with these two little girls on it. It was just the most precious thing. And if it's okay, I'd like to read what she wrote in here. And she said, and because Pam also had seen angels, and we'd talked a lot about things that we've experienced, and just things of the other side and the world that you know, we've just had experiences with. So we had shared a lot of that, while she was here. And she says, Brenda, when it is my time to leave this world and take the Lord's hand, whew, I will ask him to send an angel to whisper in your ear, I love you. I will be there to comfort you. So listen for my silly little angel. This angel will say to each and every one of my loved ones, I love you. So believe and listen. I love you. I will be around for many more years to come. Well, unfortunately, she wasn't here as long as I'd like to have her here. I do have another note here from Robert. Hi, Robert. Um, well, I almost myself because of eating too much chicken. Eating too much chicken. Uh, Oh my goodness. That was the chicken was cooked in the biggest this is at the Chicken Fest he's talking about, I think. But at the Chicken Fest they have the world's largest skillet outside, and it's like this huge skillet that they cook this fried chicken in. So it's I can see where that would happen, Robert. I really do. So anyway, and then this little card, my sweet Pam had written a note in there as well, and she said, Brenda, the words in this note are words that come to me in the middle of the night. Just one of these times I couldn't sleep. This is not to make you sad. I just want you to know I will be by your side to comfort you. I love you. So anyway, that was a special gift that I've carried with me for ever since I've lost Sweet Pam, and she is just just amazing. I haven't been able to um, like get a whole big long message, but I'm sure there's a lot to do up in heaven, so that's probably why. And I do have Mark. Hi, Mark. He says, "Hey, I am Mexican and learning English. Oh, cool. Please forgive me uh, if no good speak it, but I want to learn to be writing books. So what is your tip to give you?" Oh my goodness. Well, you know what, Mark? I tell you what, I'm old. I'm 67, and I didn't start writing this until I was 67. And I've written 3 books so far, and I had nothing either. I didn't know where to start, what to do, and honestly, I think it's just you have to just if you're like me, you've got all these stories, and they can be stories like angels, dreams, visions, or they can be a fiction or a child's book or a children's book, or they could be just anything, whatever's on your mind and in your heart. I think you can write. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So I would suggest just writing down your stories or typing them on a laptop or a computer, just writing them down. And I think that's step one. Just that would be. And I've worked with readers. Reader's Magnet here, who's putting this live video on, and I tell you, they have been wonderful. They assist you, they help you, because for people like us, we really just don't know what to do. I mean, I never had written before, and um, they didn't publish my books, but they have done the marketing and such. And I definitely would get in contact with them if I were you, because they can just lead you step by step. And yeah, but I think number one, you've got to get it from your head and your heart onto paper or a computer. Once you get your thoughts down and get going, I think it really works. So yeah. And then I have Bob. Hi, Bob Montgomery. That was a wonderful letter. Oh, lovely to know at least why you have angels all around you all the time. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Bob. Yeah, one day I kept thinking, Pam, why don't you send me a sign? Why don't you let me know you're here? And I went to walk in my front door, and all of a sudden, when I opened the front door, this beautiful big butterfly just flew by my face right in front of my eyes, and it just lingered there. It just stayed there, and lingered. And I thought, oh my goodness, that's got to be Pam. I don't know how I knew it, but I just knew it. And so the beautiful butterfly was over here, and all of a sudden, phew, here comes this big giant wasp. I thought, am I going to get stung? What the heck is this about? And all of a sudden it dawned on me, and I was just standing there laughing. If anybody ever sees me out in the world just laughing my head off, it's probably because something just happened. But anyway, I've got this beautiful butterfly and this wasp, and they're side by side right in front of my face, and I thought, what is going on? And then it dawned on me, and I got this message, or whatever you want to call it, and it was like, well, this is Pam, and this is your husband Donnie, and he was always aggravating Pam and always teasing her. So he had to come as a wasp and a butterfly, because that would be his style. So I guess I did get a sign from her after all. So um, let's see here. Hello, Brenda. Thank you for sharing a sense of spirituality in this year's book festival. Oh, thank you. You need, let's see, we need, I do apologize, but the print's pretty small. We do need more of your subjects in today's era, and people forget that spiritual realms and how it affects us. You know what? You're so true. And like I say, there's just life is tough. There's a lot of things going on, and people just have a lot to deal with. And if I didn't have God, and if I didn't have um, everything that goes on in my life, I don't know what I would do. And I've had, I think it's generational blessings of those that have gone before me. My parents and my grandparents and the great grandparents, and aunts and uncles, and hey, Joanne. And just a lot of influence, a lot of people. um, I couldn't do it without that spiritual side, and just that faith. So that's really what's helped me through life, in this journey. And Victoria, hello, Victoria. um, People from the other side like to be playful. You never really show they never really show up without a disguise, don't they? That is so true. You know what I mean? I've had so many interesting things happen. My mom and my dad and my husband, and whew, a lot of them have just come to me in the most unique ways. Not like you'd think always. I mean, one day I was mopping the kitchen floor and I stood up and boom, I just bumped right into somebody. And I thought for sure the kids were home or maybe my husband was there. And, of course, I turned around and thought, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to bump into you. And there was no one there. So somebody was teasing me. My dad, my husband, I don't know who it was, but somebody was there teasing me. So yeah, it's been a journey, and I couldn't do it without all of these wonderful family and friends in my life to encourage you and to be by your side, and also angels and dreams, things like that. So yeah, it's been an honor, and I do want to say too before I end that honestly. I tell you what, it's been an honor to be on here. Reader's Magnet has been just amazing to work with. They've got so many wonderful people, and they've helped me so much. And I thank you all. And again, I just want to thank once again. I want to thank all of you out there who have tuned in and been present. And I just knowing you're out there just warms my heart. And I thank you so much and appreciate all of you for tuning in and for listening. It's been a great privilege to be here and to share some of my stories. So thank you very much, and y'all have a great weekend. And I hope something great happens. I hope you get a visit from an angel. Uh, and Timothy, your faith has been quite. Oh, I can't. Isn't that terrible? I can't see. Uh, Your faith has been quite hoping. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. It's been a long journey and a long life, but I tell you, I wouldn't trade it for nothing. And Bob, hey, Bob, it's been wonderful from you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Again, I appreciate all of you for being here and for listening. And it's just been an honor. Thank you so much, all of you, for being out there. Thank you. Bye bye. See you soon.